Papertech is a CII-initiated and IPMA-backed annual event which aims to disseminate the information on latest trends and technologies relating to water, energy, and environment performance improvement, share best practices, and provide a networking platform for all the stakeholders. In my talk today, I would like to touch upon a different dimension, which is about structural changes witnessed by pulp and paper industry globally and its ramifications on Indian pulp and paper industry. The one big change that globalization has brought to the world is networking of various economies. From the point of view of availability of raw material, markets, technology, capital, talent, and currencies. In India, till about 4-5 years back, we were quite insulated. One, because of custom duty, and also it was domestically produced paper and domestically consumed paper. The vibrations of any major impact on any of these variables in one part of the world can be felt and could impact the working of industry in other parts of the world. Take demand of writing and printing paper, for example. From the peak of 105 million tons in 2007, not so long ago, just 5-6 years back, the demand of writing printing grades has come down to around 92 million tons in 2012, a decline of 13 million tons at a global level over 5 years. Just to put this number in perspective, the current size of Indian writing and printing paper market is around 4 million tons, which means in a period of 5 years, more than 3 Indian writing and printing markets have been wiped out of the global world market. And this number becomes all the more dramatic if we consider the fact that this decline is to the tune of 18 million tons in developed world. The growth of 5 million tons in developing world has somewhat helped to soften the blow of this demand decline. This demand decline in developed economies and growth in emerging markets has irrevocably changed the power equation of the industry. Demand growth has been followed by increased share of manufacturing capacity. In 2011, the manufacturing capacities were poised almost equally between developed and developing economies, with North America, Western Europe, Japan, and Oceania at around 200 million tons, and rest of Asia, Eastern Europe, Latin America, and Middle East, Africa, also at around 200 million tons. However, in the next decade, the capacity expansion is heavily skewed in favor of developing economies, where 87 million ton is slated to come by 2022. In developing economies, and in contrast, Western Europe, North America, and Japan will shrink by 8 million tons. Looking at the optimistic side of the equation, the truth is that around 60% of the world population today, even today, is living in geographies which are growing at plus of 5%. So the world is not coming to an end. So we need to be all optimistic, and fortunately, we are living in the part of the world which is growing at plus of 5%. We can take it for the next 10 years. This deficiency of raw material has shaken the cost equations rudely. In India, wood prices have almost doubled in last 1 year, and the competition of raw material has intensified to unprecedented levels. For the first time in the history of Indian paper industry, import of wood has become a reality, and this import is not only to feed incremental capacities of pulp, but also the existing capacities. Wood is being transported across the length and breadth of the country and is defying the generally accepted practice of procurement from the catchment area. With global wood prices settling around $200 per metric ton on BD basis, and China becoming the largest importer of wood chips, one can expect Chinese going out and invest in plantations globally. This would lead to appreciation in plantation valuations. Another major focus area would be environmentally sustainable development of business. In the coming years, one would see the concerted efforts of the industry towards improving the energy, water, and emission footprint. Availability of sustainable raw material would be extremely high on the agenda of the industry. Considering that Indian paper industry is highly fragmented, where the majority of units are relatively small in scale and size and out-of-date technology, it would be exceedingly difficult for small manufacturers to meet the stringent pollution and emission norms. Indian paper industry will also see some fundamental changes on go-to-market side. Publishers and printers, who are our typical customers, would start valuing the convenience of buying, just-in-time supply, inventory hold, availability of special SKUs, etc. Market would see pan-India distributors with their own cutting and converting facilities. Like in mature market, distributors will have their own brands, and a lot of their business, especially the standard size, etc., will move to EAT platform. The time and energy of sales force will shift to consultative selling. Industry would find a lot of transparency on stocks held, and credit insurance, etc. would be realities. I would like to conclude by summarizing that while Indian paper industry will continue to grow by 6 to 8% year on year. However, one can expect structural changes from the point of view of scale, technology, productivity, market interface, etc. Such structural changes would obviously challenge the existing business model, but on the other hand would open up a whole range of business opportunities for progressive players, either from India or from abroad. Thank you.